Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about comic shops being looted. We're going to talk about comic shops being destroyed and another blow against comic book, independent retailers and the industry.
Right.
What's ultimately going to hurt, the comic book industry. Now, disclaimer, we do know there are much bigger things going on in the world right now, and you're probably, some of you are going to be like, why are you talking about comics? Comics aren't that important. I'm like, because that's what we do on this channel. We're not a major news outlet.
Yeah.
We're not going to cover all the craziness going on in the world right now, but we are going to cover our own little corner of it, which is comics and animations. And games and that sort of thing, pop culture, and this is it's sad. It's very sad. So we've been kind of following the decline, the hastened decline, I guess, of the comic book industry for the last couple months now because of coronavirus, the shutdown.
A lot of places already closed and have to curbside only if they're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, all these headlines about how a lot of comic shops are not going to come back online. They don't know what they're going to do. They're in cities where they're on lockdown. And, a few are going to come back. Hopefully, but there have been all kinds of issues. Diamond Cut and Run, they basically abandoned shops, and
we heard that in the local, and it's a gaming shop. They got kind of screwed over by Diamond. Yeah,
I was talking to the owner of a gaming shop that went in just a few months before the shutdown, and I was worried they wouldn't come back online, but they said, because of online sales, they were able to survive, but they're mad at Diamond because they're like, Diamond's just being ridiculous. They're not returning phone calls. Yeah. And if we depended on them, we would have gone out of business. So thankfully they didn't. So there are a few bright spots here. Now, the comic book industry obviously was weakened long before coronavirus hit.
Oh, that place is the place that had Spider-Man zip tied to the door.
Oh, Golden Apple Comics.
Yes.
We're gonna talk.
I know,
about this.
but that's why I said I remember that picture because we were like, why did they have him zip tied to the door, like it was chained to the door so he doesn't get, no one can take him.
Yeah, this is
that apparently doesn't work too well.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because ironically enough, Golden Apple is one of the comic shops we're gonna talk about. But we're talking about retailers. Some of them even before the shutdown, before the protests, they were already like, we're not coming back. It's not viable for us to come back. They were cutting their losses. And I guess if you were getting close to retirement anyway, for some people, or you just you were done, it might make sense to just cut out. Things from Another World in Portland, I found out that they were going to shut down one of their locations. They're actually a pretty big one. Anyway, this is what we're going to talk about because of the rioting. There's been looting. Many comic shops have been looted. In fact, one of them, I'll have to look up which one it was. They were actually recording a podcast in their shop as it was being looted.
You kidding me?
No, and then they were they're talking about it on the podcast. But we're seeing a lot of these shops, that could have maybe come back online. They're not going to come back.
A lot of them are getting ready. I mean, not in California, in that area, I don't think they were opening it back up yet. But some of those places could be getting ready to open. We're getting ready to open, and then this happened.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess my thing is, as if comics needed more problems.
Right.
The comic book industry is already on death's door, and then this is just like, so, okay, fine. So some of these shops, they are coming back after the shutdown. Nope, now this happens.
Yeah.
Now their stores are destroyed. Golden Apple Comics, which just, 2 months ago, there was the article about how coronavirus was shutting them down.
They should have chained all their stuff to the shelves.
Oh, God. And now here we are talking about Golden Apple again.
I hope no one took that Spider-Man. After all the trouble they went on with that Spider-Man.
Oh, my God.
And we had him chained up. I'm like, I really hope no one took the Spider-Man. Because that's just insult to injury at this point. Because they really went out of their way to make sure he was secured.
Yeah, so they're doing a GoFundMe for Golden Apple. I think a couple other comic shops are. And again, this is, the comic book industry, even in LA, has been decimated because Meltdown Comics a couple of years ago, they went out. They were one of the biggest comic shops out there. All the Hollywood geeks used to go to Meltdown Comics. And I remember thinking when they went out of business, this is like a canary in the coal mine. This is bad. If Meltdown goes down and they never come back, and they didn't. They ain't come back, and now we've got Golden Apple going out too. And now they might. They've got a GoFundMe for them.
That's doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they got 15,000. So look, they can, if it's just Windows and stuff, they can fix it. But The funds will raise money for my favorite shop to fix the windows, install new security measures. The shop has been serving LA for over 40 years.
Wow, that's just heartbreaking.
40 years, needs help with these expenses due to violence and destruction of their property. Any amount you can donate in assisting Golden Apple would be greatly appreciated. Shop was planning to reopen this Monday.
Oh, no.
This Monday, after being closed for the past 2 months due to COVID.
So you're thinking these people are like, oh my God, we made it through. We can open again. We might have a chance of surviving this. Everybody did fundraisers and stuff to help us, and now we can open. And then this happens, and then they needed close to 3,000, and they're over 15 now.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, they're gonna get what they need, but that's one place out of many.
Yeah, there have actually been several. Rich Johnson. I said before. I think some of these websites.
See the writing on the wall?
Yeah, Rich Johnson does seem to be more journalistical. He's doing, instead of listicles, he's doing journalisticals.
Every time I hear anything with isticles, I think of testicles. I don't know why.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but he has been, as far as the COVID stuff goes, he's actually been pretty even keel for the most part.
Just make sure if you're typing that word listicles out, you don't put it a K instead of an S. I'm just saying, not speaking from experience or anything. I'm just saying that come across as something completely different.
Listicular.
No, I was thinking licticles, but that's another.
That sounds like a Pokemon. Licticle, I choose you.
No, it sounds like something that you can get arrested for. Anyway,
it does. Or a disease. Anyway, eight comic stores hit by looting across the USA, and I'm not trying to make light of this. Just, laugh or cry. I mean, this is.
No, I'm not trying to make light of it either. But I think some people need a break from it, so we're trying to give you the news, but in a way that has some humor thrown in so that you don't feel so depressed.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, we're not going to cover the blow by blow of everything going on right now. I know a lot of other channels are I don't, it's not our place as a pop culture YouTube channel to tell you what you should feel or what you should think about what's going on right now. We're just talking about comics,
right,
and how it affects comics and all of that. So Golden Apple, again, we talked about them. Here's another one. Heidi High, Comics of LA. LA store Heidi Ho. Oh, Heidi Ho. I'm sorry. I'm like, that's a weird name. Heidi Ho Comics. Who's Heidi High?
That makes more sense.
Is that Rich saying, "Hey, Heidi McDonald, how you doing?" Heidi Ho Comics also reported looting. The extent has yet to be measured. Japan, LA of Los Angeles. So we had an anime store. Is that what that is?
I think so. That's what he said.
Yeah, a lot of you saw Japan, LA getting looted. They finally cleared them out and arrested some of the looters. We were all crushed and deeply saddened. Thank you for the text. We left at 4:30. And
a lot of people didn't know, and the other people were trying to write them and tell them their shop was being destroyed. Then they found out later.
Graham Crackers, Chicago Loop, Illinois.
Which was one that they were actually doing the podcasting, you said.
Yeah, it's on here. Let me see here. Challenger, I think it was Challenger Comics. Yeah, of Illinois.
Oh, they were recording a podcast, yeah.
Yeah, they were recording a podcast when they got looped. Top Cut Comics of Berwyn, Illinois. Top Cut was vandalized and looted. As a result of this, will be closed for business until further notice. Again, these are shops that probably were just coming back or were planning on coming back, and now they're not. Dream Haven, Books and Comics of Minneapolis. Well, pretty much any business in Minneapolis, I think, is, but later adding, we have a crew at Dream Haven. They've smashed the front door, came in, smashed a lot of other glass, tried to bash their way into an empty cash box, tried to set the store on fire. They took a few things out, but so much was tossed around, it will be a while before we can figure it out. Lots of cleaning up.
Well, this one here got me, though. There were a few merchandise casualties, and they destroyed the electronics they found, but mostly they ignored the books. All except one they tried to burn, which had left to smolder and which put itself out. Yeah.
Teams of folks came by during the day and boarded up the store and painted. With great power comes great responsibility on the boards.
Yeah, but one good thing about all this is they said a lot of people are coming out to help them.
Yeah, so here's another GoFundMe. Yeah, another GoFundMe for Crazy Fred's Cards and Comics of La Mesa, California. That was another one that had a news article. So people are helping, but it's I
kind of would like to go in that Japan store, honestly. Yeah. I was like, it was cool. I want to go in there.
Might be a while. But
I don't live out there anyway, but.
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's just this is much bigger than comics, but you know, it is. We saw some comic shops that actually had a fighting chance, maybe, of coming back.
And these guys survived the decline, survived the shutdown, and now they have to survive this too.
Yeah, and God knows what else. 2020 is not even halfway done.
For them, I can't imagine how they have to feel, because it has to be like, are you kidding me right now? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine. It's like, oh my God, thank God it's over. The hardest part's over. And here we are. Here we are. So anyway, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
Okay.
Go out. There are a couple fundraisers. If you want to support these shops, you can do it. If you don't.
Or if there's other ones aren't listed that you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know if there were other shops that were damaged, you know, that maybe weren't listed. But we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.